So I've had a lot of people ask about the color and how I done the paint. So it was obviously the Raptor liner. This is so easy to do. I mean, it sounds very intimidating when you listen to it and read on it on Amazon or whatever you get it from. But I'm telling you, this is one of the easiest things I've done. The hardest part is prep, which that's with any painting. But I done the tintable, and I went with Toyota paint code on their army green color for 2020. I love it. It's incredibly durable. I spray it off with a pressure washer. Perfectly fine soap. And scrub it. You ain't gonna hurt it. And like I said, I got the tintable and I got the 1 gallon kit. And it came with a spray gun. It was like 170 bucks, I think, on eBay. And I've still got 1 full can left that I haven't even mixed yet. And enough hardener to still do it. So technically it only took 3 to do what I've done. This is your best friend whenever you do this. Make sure you do not skip this step. This is the most important step. What I did, I don't have a video of me doing it, sadly. I've got a few pictures posted on my Facebook of it and in the Rhino group. But I'll just kind of walk you through and tell you what I did. I just took, when I bought this thing, it was wrapped in a horrible wrap camo. And it was spray painted blue underneath it. So my prep work ended up being a lot longer than it should have been. Because I had to get all of the wrap off, and then I had to go through and heat and get the paint off, get down to the bare plastic. And I sanded all of mine with 60 grit sandpaper. That is extremely rough. I think the Raptor liner recommends using 80 to 180, maybe, just wherever in that line. I had a crap ton of 60 laying around, and I just used it on an Orville sander, and I sanded everything. It took me and my wife probably 6-7 hours to do it. But like I said, don't let that intimidate you, because mine was spray painted and had a wrap on it that I had to get off. So that's what took so long. Actual sanding, maybe an hour. But sand every single piece that you're going to paint. And then get that adhesion promoter and make sure you read the back of it and do exactly what it says. I think it's 2 light coats and let it flash off for 20 minutes in between. And once it dries, then you can apply this stuff. I sprayed this at, I think it was 60 PSI or 70, somewhere in there. And it goes on so easy. I mean, you can't mess it up. I don't really think you can even put it on that thick. This is 1 coat. And I mean, the coverage was amazing. So I tinted it, and once again, whenever you get the tintable Raptor liner, it will tell you what ratios to mix your paint with. Here was the paint. I just went to my local PPG store, and this was the black. And I just had them mix me up 6 ounces of black paint. And make sure wherever you go to get it mixed, tell the guy that's mixing it to not put binder in it. Do not put bonding agent in it. So you just get the straight paint. I got 6 ounces of black and 6 ounces of the green. And I just give him paint codes for the green. I just went to Google, typed in Toyota Army Green, and it showed me the paint code. So you mix it up, shake it very well in the thing, and then spray your spray gun, or put your bottle onto your spray gun, just twist it on, and then just start spraying. Like I said, this is 1 coat. I let it dry for 24 hours before I even touched it. I mean, it turned out awesome. I love the texture. It's not, rough as can be. And it's super, super tough. I mean, I have went through the woods in this thing, knocking over trees, pushing whatever I wanted, going through very tight trails full of briars and tree limbs sticking out. And literally, I mean, the only thing on it is mud. Just mud that'll come straight off. The only place that I have messed up is I did not put enough adhesion promoter back here on the back. And it's chipping where I've beat the crap out of this tailgate. I didn't really put as much on this edge as I should have, and I didn't sand it as good as I should have because I was just getting tired. And I mean, it took me forever to get the wrap and paint off just so I could get down to bare plastic. But once you get down to that point, if I wouldn't have had the paint and the wrap, this project might have took me maybe 3 hours to do. It's super easy. Don't be intimidated by it. And as far as the fender wells, a lot of guys said that they like how I done this instead of putting fender flares on it, which I still really need to do because it throws mud everywhere. But I just taped it off and done green. I just left this bare plastic, and then once the green was dry, I just taped over top of the green and laid plastic over it and sprayed the black. And I could have got just 2 things of tintable and then 2 things of black, but it was cheaper just to get a full case of tintable and get the paint to tint it myself. And I was very worried because I've never seen anybody tint black. I mean, usually people just buy the black, but I was worried that it wasn't going to turn out necessarily right. I was afraid it might be gray. Because if you look at the tintable Raptor liner, when you open it up, it looks white. But if you let it dry, it dries clear. It's translucent. So whatever color you put in it is what color you're going to get. So if you want to tint it black, like I said, it was a lot cheaper just to buy black paint. I think I had like 20 bucks in the paint, and it was $170 for the kit with the gun. So $200 in this paint job and a lot of elbow grease, but your situation shouldn't be like that. All you should have to do is really sand. So hope that helps you guys out. I'm sorry I don't have a video of actually spraying it, but at the time I really wasn't doing much YouTube stuff. I'm just now kind of trying to get into it a little bit, just because every time I post a picture on Facebook, you know, guys kind of like what I do on mine, and they're like, hey, how'd you do this? So it's just easier for me to make a YouTube video and just try to explain it than sit there and try to type out a story. So hope you guys like it. Super easy. Don't be intimidated by it. Just try it. You really can't screw it up. As long as you sand it good and use that adhesion promoter, it's going to turn out good. And I've seen guys too on Facebook or on YouTube that have painted over top of this stuff with other colors of Raptor liner, and as long as you sand it before you do it, it adheres just the same. So it sticks very well. You know, there's not really any point of return after you do it, as far as if you want to go back to like a, you know, you can't put a wrap on top of this stuff. There's no way it'd stick. But other than that, I mean, I think honestly this is the cheapest and best as far as durability way to get a good paint job on your rhino. Thanks guys.